Let me start with a question that might sound a little uncomfortable. If knee pain after 60 is just part of aging, then why do you know someone in their 70s who walks just fine, while someone else the same age can barely get up from a chair? Think about that for a second, because this is the belief almost everyone has been told at some point. Your knees hurt because you're getting older. That's normal. Doctors say it, friends say it, even commercials say it. And after hearing it enough times, most seniors quietly accept it. They stop questioning it. They stop expecting improvement. And that's where the real problem begins. Today, we're going to bust one of the biggest joint myths out there, especially for knee pain seniors, and it might completely change how you think about aging wellness. Now, I'm not saying aging does nothing to your body. That would be silly. But the idea that knee pain after 60 is unavoidable, that it's a one-way street downhill, that part is the lie. Here's the part doctors rarely explain clearly. Most knee pain in older adults isn't caused by old age. It's caused by years of habits your knees quietly adapted to until they couldn't anymore. Let me explain with a simple story. Imagine your knee is like a hinge on a door. For decades, that hinge opens and closes thousands of times a day, but no one ever oils it. No one checks if the door is crooked. No one notices the screws slowly loosening. Then one day, the door starts squeaking. It sticks. It doesn't close right. Would you say, well, that door's old. Guess it's supposed to squeak now? Of course not. You'd say something is off. But with knees, we're told squeaking is normal. One of the biggest joint myths is that pain automatically means damage, that if your knee hurts, it must be bone on bone or completely worn out. Here's the truth most people never hear. Pain does not always equal destruction. A lot of knee pain after 60 comes from stiffness, weak support muscles, poor movement patterns, and inflammation, not from your knee being used up. And here's where fear sneaks in. When people believe their knees are fragile because of age, they start moving less. They avoid stairs. They stop walking as much. They sit more. They protect the knee. Ironically, that protection often makes things worse. Muscles around the knee weaken, joints get stiffer, blood flow decreases, and suddenly the knee really does feel worse, which seems to prove the myth right. It's a vicious loop. I once heard someone say, I stopped walking because my knees hurt. Now my knees hurt because I stopped walking. That's aging wellness in a nutshell. Now, let's talk about why doctors rarely explain this clearly, and it's not because they're evil or hiding secrets. Most appointments are short. Doctors are trained to rule out serious damage, prescribe relief, and move on. There's often no time to explain movement patterns, lifestyle habits, or long-term joint behavior. So what patients hear is, you've got arthritis, you're getting older, manage it. And seniors translate that into, my body is breaking down and there's nothing I can do. That belief alone can increase pain. No joke, studies show fear and expectation can amplify how much pain you feel. When you expect movement to hurt, your body tightens up before you even move. Ever notice how you brace yourself before standing up? That little here we go moment? That's not age, that's anticipation. Here's another myth worth busting. If I move less, I'll protect my knees. Actually, smart movement is one of the best things for knee health. Joints are designed to move. They're not museum pieces. Think about a car that sits in a garage for years. What happens? The battery dies, the engine stiffens, rubber parts dry out. Now compare that to a car that's driven regularly, gently, and maintained. Your knees work the same way. Now, I'm not saying you should suddenly start running marathons or doing deep squats in your kitchen. Relax. This isn't one of those do this one miracle move videos. This is about understanding the real cause so you stop blaming age for everything. Another thing doctors rarely explain is pain often comes from above or below the knee. Tight hips, weak glutes, stiff ankles. Your knee sits in the middle, taking the blame like the middle child. So when someone says, "My knee is bad," what they often mean is my knee is overloaded, and overload isn't age-dependent. That's why you'll see some 65-year-olds hiking, gardening, traveling, and others afraid of curbs. Same age, different beliefs, different habits. Let me ask you something honestly. When your knee hurts, do you immediately think, "I'm getting old"? Or do you think something might be off and maybe I can influence it? That mindset shift alone matters more than most people realize. Aging wellness isn't about pretending you're 25. It's about realizing your body still adapts, just a bit slower and with more honesty required. And here's the most important truth. Your knees didn't suddenly betray you at 60. They've been whispering for years. So no, knee pain seniors experience is not automatically a life sentence. It's often a signal, and signals can be responded to. The real danger isn't knee pain. The real danger is believing there's nothing you can do. Because once you believe that, you stop trying. And when you stop trying, aging feels a lot heavier than it needs to be. So next time someone tells you it's just your age, pause. Ask yourself, is it really age, or is it a myth that's been repeated so long it sounds like truth? Your knees might surprise you, especially once you stop underestimating them. And if this made you rethink even one belief you've been carrying for years, share it with someone who's been told the same thing. Because aging doesn't mean giving up movement, and knee pain after 60 doesn't mean the story is over. Sometimes it just means it's time to stop believing the wrong story.